So, global problem space.
Yes, appliances is a daunting prospect for millions of
Normally I play this video, but we don't have a ton of time, so I'm going to talk over the video while we go. So, global problem space. How do we get to Australia's target of net zero when we already have 42% of our emissions coming from households themselves? Customer problem space is our cost of living is rising rapidly, and the generic calculators that exist online just aren't going to cut it. People want to know exactly what action they should take based on their home and their energy usage. So the solution is an Australian first pilot program called Electrify Now. We take smart meter energy data and we sweep that through an AI algorithm, which gives us insights into your actual home and your actual energy usage. In that way, we can tell someone what is going to be right for them. With this pilot program, we've reached 6,500 customers so far with a potential carbon savings of 49 kilotons per year. This case study that Channel 7 covered with us, this household could save on average up to $3,400 per year if they were to fully electrify. A massive potential benefit for both the customer as well as our carbon emissions. So when we think about innovation, we can now solve all of society's problems, right? It's simple. Well, as we talked about, these ideas actually are quite simple, but the implementation of doing something that no one has ever done before is anything but simple. It took us 2 years of research and development to create the innovation behind Eloments Vitamin Teas. 2 years is an incredibly long time to sit in uncertainty, not sure if you can actually make the product that you have been trying and failing to make. We had so many people tell us during this time, you can't do that. And so we had to get very used to saying, okay, we can't do it that way. So what's our next option? During this time, I really had to reframe the way I thought about the word no. So often we see no as a stop sign, as the end of the road, when actually it's simply someone telling you you've taken a wrong fork in the road. You might have to backtrack miles to find where that wrong turn was, but there is always another path forward. We finally found a manufacturer who was willing to trial a process for us that had never been used before in tea, but understandably, they were not willing to take liability if it didn't work. And we were working with such expensive ingredients. If the trial was unsuccessful, we would have wasted a full third of our entire seed funding round. In the end, our 2-person company created a patent-pending method for blending vitamins with tea. And when we finally launched, the response from retailers and tea lovers was overwhelming. We secured our first supermarket chain of 750 stores within 4 months. And within 12 months, we'd secured ranging in 1,500 stores globally. And at this point, we finally hired our first staff member. Up until this point in the journey, I hadn't thought much about what it meant to be a migrant founder who also identified as female. But to fund this growth, we realized rapidly that we needed to open a Series A funding round. Has anyone ever been in a job interview and been asked if you plan to have a family? No, that's illegal. Oh.
before Saxton.
So that is actually illegal, but when you're equity funding, you don't have any of those protections. We ended up deciding to go it alone, and we were able to close our Series A funding round in 8 days, becoming part of only 2.7% of equity capital that went to founders who identified as female that year.